us where we can say, this is coming from you as well.
I just want to clarify too, this doesn't mean that all of this has to happen because, and I know mine are rudimentary numbers too, but without taking into effect a few very small program changes and just some of the other recommendations, I already got to, well, I have to take out some of the changes, but close to 1.4. So you don't have to, we wouldn't necessarily have to make all of these cuts.
That's kind of the conversation I'm trying to have
Right.
this evening is, you started at 2.1, and the next sheet you're going to see are the things that we like to refer to as under the line,
Right.
okay?
Keeping more teachers is better.
Well,
Yeah, so,
a reaction is a reaction, you're absolutely correct. So the
Okay.
next sheet, where's my next sheet? Did I hand it out?
You did.
I did. These are budget priorities, other possibilities. Okay, we talked about teacher assistants. We know that that's an issue that people are very concerned about. We understand, and I gotta say this, and I mean this, I'm not prompted, I didn't get paid to say this. We have outstanding teacher assistants, and they do a yeoman's task. But we have a $2.1 million gap. And when you try to look at a large panoramic view of where we can make some trimming, every area has to have some trim. It doesn't give us jollies to have those conversations. However, we have placed on 2 teacher assistant reductions. We hear there may be some persons who are interested in retiring. If that happens, the chance is very strong that we will not fill those 2 positions, so it'll be through an attrition process, so some of our current people are not retiring, will still be with us, which is a good thing. And go back to the clericals, the same thing, we're hearing some people in that unit may be considering retiring, same type of scenarios, they have to recraft how we're going to utilize those folks. Okay, the next one is athletics. We talked a little bit at the last board meeting, there's been a lot of discussion in the public, in the different media, different school districts. As the board knows, I serve as the representative to the ECIC as the superintendent's representative. We just had another meeting last week. There was another meeting coming up with the section 6. And I'm going to have Brad kind of walk some of the concepts through the board. But one of the things we're hopeful that the board can give us some direction tonight. Because there is a consensus amongst the athletic directors that we need to have some final direction from their boards as to what they would like to do in athletics. So Brad, why don't you talk about the athletics modified JV model as it stands today?
Well, as of right now, we have 3 different levels. We have modified, which are 7th and 8th graders. We have JV, which is a 9th and 10th grade level. And then you have a varsity level, which is 11 and 12. That's the current model across the ECIC, the NFL, and the NO League, which is part of the Section 6 sports group. Because of the Division 4 ECIC, which is, your Cleveland Hill, Eaton, Lackawanna, Holland, JFK, and Alden. We are all pretty much in the same boat. Some of us really bad, some of us not so bad, as far as money problems and gaps. So what we've gotten together as a division, because we all have the same fiscal responsibilities put on us from our superintendent, from our boards, to come up with ideas to save. We've all kind of said the best way we've all agreed upon is athletic directors, and what we're hoping to get direction from our boards and superintendent would be to eliminate the JVs. If we had to eliminate modified or JV, would be eliminate the JV program for the following year, or just not do it. Maybe not just like eliminate it, just not do it. We're saying 1 year with the hopes that at some point it would return, because there is a benefit to having 3 different levels. There's no doubt about it. That's the ideal model, is to have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 3 separate models. But in order for all of our students that are currently participating, to give them an opportunity to continue to have an opportunity to participate, eliminating the JVs would still give that opportunity. What it would look like would be you would eliminate the level 9, 10 Your ninth graders would now become modified athletes, and it would be a model of a modified A program, which is a 7, 8, 9 program. Your 10th graders would move up to a varsity level, so your 10th, 11th, and 12th graders are at the varsity level, which we currently have, I'd say almost every sport we run has 10th graders at the varsity level already. So it's not unheard of, and it's not out of the realm of possibilities for 10th graders to actually get on the field and participate or on the court, whatever they're participating in. I think as far as individually Tonawanda, I think it would be an effective thing because it would also bolster our programs that don't have modifieds. It would create modifieds because Eden and other schools have modified volleyball. We would create a modified volleyball program. It would be 7, 8, 9, and then we'd have our varsity level program. So we would be getting more girls involved earlier and better prepare them for competition in the ECIC, so that would benefit us. That would also benefit us at our tennis, boys and girls, because they don't have modified programs, but the JV program now would turn into that. I'm not sure how swim would work because we have co-ed modified swim, so it would probably stay co-ed modified, but we would have the 9th graders swim as co-ed, and then you would still have your varsity. Soccer would split, 7 through 9, 10 through 12. Football being a federated sport, it's a whole separate entity, so that actually would not be touched at all. And then, what else do we have? Basketball would split. And so, the conversation we had at our last athletic council meeting, all of the schools as athletic directors agreed and said that we would go back to our schools and advocate for the split to be eliminating the JVs and moving forward. To help protect the other schools, instead of just falling out on a limb, and saying, okay, we've Tonawanda's eliminated our JV level, and then all of a sudden, Alden, Eden, JFK, Lackawanna say, oh no, we're fine, we're staying the way we are. So now we're by ourselves. We've got no one to participate against. So, we have a meeting April 2nd, and our goal is to hopefully come back to that meeting, and it's going to be a lengthy financial meeting that we're having, but it is to have an idea of where our board and superintendent want us to go with the conversation, so that we can see what our divisions are going to look like, how we're going to affect Division 3, which is your Maryvale, other schools like the Pew and that, they're right behind us in moving or making a change.
I have a question. Aren't those kids in the middle going to be kind of caught in limbo? Like if say there's a 9th grader who's playing JV, is he going to be pushed back to then modified, and like it's going to create a whole...
If you're a 9th grader that you have the opportunity to play the varsity level, you can go and play the varsity level.
So
if not, if you don't have the ability, you would stay with the 7, 8, 9.
It's just hard because that group right there, like if you have starters, all of a sudden they're being shifted in 2 different directions. Where they were starters before, now they're going to be bench warmers.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
That's kind of hard.
Yeah. The best thing is though, that split group, if you eliminate your modifieds, those kids will be experiencing the sport for the first time at 9th grade.
Yeah, I know.
Whereas this way, they're coming in at 7, 8, 9, not ideal, but...
But currently, a 9th grader can be moved up, and normally if they are, it's because of ability to play. Am I correct? And they wouldn't be a bench warmer.
Correct, yeah.
More than likely.
Majority of
They would be there
parents'
because they have the
conversations that I
ability.
have with students since I've been here is if a student is a 9th grader and the coach wants to move them up because of their ability, I often urge the player to make the decision, A, for themselves.
A lot of times they still ride the bench and just come up there for experience. I've seen it happen.
That's my whole
Many
point.
times.
My conversation with the parents is making sure that the student's aware that with the coach, and a conversation of, are you going to be playing or are you going to be sitting the bench, and are you okay with that? Are you going to be halfway through the season and go, wait a minute, I want to play? then, but by that time, you've already made your decision to stay with the team to practice. Of course, you know, the practice is gonna be more difficult, you're gonna get better just that way, but at some point, you're gonna wanna get in. So you try to make it as clear as possible. I hope, you know, and advocate my coaches, make it clear as possible what what's actually gonna happen, but,
Mr. Stark?
Yeah, are we looking at just football going to remain with JV, or are we going to look at the big three in sports? With all three, meaning basketball and baseball combined, because having played those sports, I know ninth graders that are exceptional at modified,
yeah.
again, like Ms. Cassell said, they'll be bench warmers and really out of their class league going up to the next level. Where at JV, they would have to get the experience and keep playing, much like what we have in our summer leagues around here. But I don't know, I'd be anxious to see what the other schools in our district say, or in our federation, whatever you want to call it, say, to keep the big three sports, basketball, football, and baseball, all with the three levels. And I'm all for the other sports, but I don't know if I could go for the big three.
On that note, we have to be very careful though, that we can't just gear towards boys. We have to make sure whatever we do the same for girls. So you can't just keep basketball, football.
Title IX makes that.
Exactly. I just want to make that clear, because you gotta make sure you keep for the girls.
Yeah, it's not a choice.
So, you gave us numbers the last time, and it won't come up, but what are we talking about? If we, how many would split? You know,
Player-wise?
Yeah, player-wise, about how many on an average would use basketball and
Well,
baseball?
currently, right now, baseball, we have, I believe we have 14 players. Which 3 of the players are modified kids, actually, that have classified and come up. So,
14 on the JV team?
yeah.
Once they classify, can they go back down? No, I thought once they classified, they couldn't go back down.
They can go back down up to the halfway point of the year. Once they get to the halfway point of the year, it's my job to go to them and say, this is your choice to move down back and go return, or you stay. Once you stay, you're done, once you get past the halfway point. Varsity JV level, you can go down, up and down, all around.
So you put a dollar amount on here, and it says, in parentheses, modified / JV model.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, if you look at the numbers, you're looking at roughly $45,000 for both levels. It's kind of a,
And that's not taking into account the other options you gave last week with
those
Kaiser?
were all separate
Okay. So
separate
this
options
leaves all of
that,
those.
if you guys wanted more, I figured I'd give you
more.
everything that I
I want
possibly.
more. I just wanted, the $45,000 is just making the modified varsity change.
And then
So
the
just getting rid of
60
JV,
Yeah.
is the other reduction.
still allowing
Yes.
every student to play if they want to play.
Correct.
Thank you.
One of the nice things about this is too, is for whatever the reason, our 9th and 10th graders are not participating as much as we would like them to. And this would actually help our programs get their numbers back up to a normal, what we've normally been playing with. Baseball, but other schools are going at JFK, they've canceled their baseball, JV baseball program this year because they had 5 kids. There's no kids playing out in that area. This year, we're not running our boys tennis team because we had 6 kids committed. 8 kids signed up, 6 of them went question. We're really committed to actually playing. So, you need 7 to even get on the court.
You couldn't do that mixed this year? Couldn't do the mixed team this year?
Well, our girls already played this year.
Oh,
You can't play twice in a year. So,
they have different seasons? So if you mix them, what time of year would they play?
well, we would not run the girls, and the girls would go in mixed competition
Okay.
in the spring. That's what JFK or
Which would allow them to
Leeds
compete in
Hills.
the section, correct?
The girls would be eligible to participate if they qualify in the section,
You have a
which has
good
happened
feeling-
at Cleve Hill several times.
The other athletic directors, you have a good feeling that they're gonna move in this direction?
As far as eliminating the JV, every single Division IV team or AD representative for their school has said, yes, this is the way we're gonna go. And what we've agreed to is the fact that we're gonna stick together so that the kids, if we do this, we have enough league games where the season's actually worth it.
Right.
3 schools go, the other ones stay, they'll probably bump up to Division III, make that division huge, and then we're by ourselves playing each other 6 times in a row.
Right, right. Because you want them still to be
So,
competitive.
we're looking at 5 to 6 league competitions, teams in a group, so you've got 10 to 12 league matches, and that's about what you want.
Continuing on the sheet, the other areas, and Mary Beth already touched on this a little bit, and again, this is below the line. Another section at grade 5, another section at grade 4 for classroom teachers. And I'm gonna ask Joe, because I gotta be honest with you, with extracurricular.
Basically, that was eliminating some of the extracurricular programs, and that those dollars are related to the stipends that the people receive for those after-school
That was
programs.
after school programs. We also had the grade 6, one reduction of the grade 6, and an AS math. Mary Beth, you wanna touch on the 6th grade and the AS math? Because those are middle school programs.
The AAS math would have been the Mullen and Fletcher share. And then the 6th grade, if we ended up going, we had it.
What is the 5?
AIS math, the one came out,
Oh,
the
okay.
Mullen, the one that we're keeping to share between Mullen and Fletcher. The elementary 6th grade position, if we cut it, there was this big discussion today, we wouldn't necessarily be able to offer the block schedule like we currently have. The teachers may have to go back in 6th grade and teach like we currently teach, 5th grade.
Be more departmentalized.
in 6th grade, not advocating.
And those are below them.
And what was the elementary 5-4 that was below that?
One more at 5th grade, one more at 4th grade. So
In
that's why
addition-
it would
In
increase.
addition to what,
So these numbers you gave us then would be,
Right,
Would change.
Would change.
for 5th grade and 4th grade, at least by one, you would divide it by one number. Now, I'm not recommending this.
right,
These are below.
These are below them. Go ahead.
And Dr. Newton doesn't recommend that 6th grade switch either.
Okay.
We talked
And
about
I just want to mention this quick thing too about some of the classroom cuts through there. I said this morning too in our meeting that I would hope that we maintain our classroom sizes as much as we can. I would hope that if we cut, I would say do everything we can not to cut classroom teachers as much as possible. And I'd even go to library media center, people need to. I look at the cuts as like a bullseye. And I look at like the center of that bullseye is those things that directly affect teaching and learning in our students. And our classroom teachers and like library media center specialists. They are right on the front lines every day working with kids. And I just would say, I'd like to ask you to please consider that when you're making these cuts. I know there's a lot that has to be done. But I guess I'd like to have everyone please consider those folks who are working directly with our students. I believe that's where you get the best bang for the buck, with working directly with our students. I said that to Dr. Van Dyne today too. I said the exact same thing there.
Yep.
That's my philosophy with how we can help kids the best. So I just like to put that out.
And that's exactly why I asked for you people to sit at the table with us, because the board needed to hear what you had to say directly from you, I felt.
No, I appreciate it, because these are very difficult decisions to have to make, and we appreciate the input.
I just wanted to make a comment because I believe in light of what you just said about what's best for students and not getting rid of teachers if we can, I believe all of our units have decided to take a pay freeze, except for one. So wouldn't that be nice if we all did that?
Well, we're under negotiations, and I guess that's one of those things we'll have to do.
I'm not discussing it, I'm just making a comment, an observation.
If I may, the last sheet is a recapturing of the issues that we presented to the board tonight. I know Mr. Shaw mentioned before the meeting, I don't know if it's appropriate tonight or not, the board wants to take further time to review the list. We have another BAT meeting coming up next Tuesday. But what we tried to do is to take everything that we presented to the board. And as I said earlier, there's agreement and disagreement amongst our administrative staff as to what should and should be on the list. And we are cognizant of that, but at the end of the day, from a district administrator perspective, it's our responsibility to share with the board what we believe are the least destructive suggestions, if you will, to the programs and to our students and to our staffs in order to close your budget gap. So I suppose if the board were to look at that group above the line and perhaps take some of the things below the line, or if there's other issues we still want to have conversations about, we can certainly do that. We don't have to make a determination this evening. But eventually, I'm going to be recommending to the board a budget. And the board is eventually going to then have to adopt the budget number that is then going to be presented to the community. I will suggest at least the top three, which are the fund balance, and the aid, and the tax levy, as Joe walked through before. The tax levy in particular, he had never even incorporated that into our list until this evening. We've always kind of held it off to the backside. Again, I've had some great philosophical conversations about raising it.